Sunday, March 9th, 2025. And the civil war in Myanmar is still going on. Why is this going on for so long? Well, there are a lot of reasons for that, but one of them is China. China benefits from civil war in Myanmar. They benefit from an unstable Myanmar. They benefit from chaos in Myanmar. They want it. China is supporting both the military government of Myanmar, which is sitting there basically illegally. There was no um, election whatsoever. They just take power. Um, Happens a lot in Myanmar, but this time it's quite serious. So China is supporting the military government of Myanmar, which is fighting the rebel factions of the, I should say, the real huge country of Myanmar. There are a lot of rebel factions, um, a lot of areas really want to become independent, and there are a lot of tribes in Myanmar, and almost all of those tribes they want independence, and they also have um, yeah, armies, fighters, and that's the case for decades already. But yeah, in this very moment, uh, it's getting very heavy with the fighting for independence and uh, the fighting for other things. Um, so the rebel groups, which are maybe more than a dozen of them, they are fighting the military government, the army of the military government. China is supporting financially and also with equipment the military government. But China is also supporting the rebels. How can that be? Well, China is sending equipment and money to both parties, to both sides, because China wants them to fight. China wants chaos. China wants as much destruction as possible, as much chaos as possible, because basically they want to take over Myanmar. And how better to take over Myanmar if the country is completely destroyed and broke and needs everything? Uh, China can plan their investments, so called investments, which are not really investments. Um, they loan money, and they know also that countries cannot pay back that money, and henceforth they demand other things in return for that. Um, you can see Laos, which is now a de facto Chinese province. Uh, China is basically already owning Laos. Everything that you see in Laos is Chinese. Not only the shops, but all the infrastructure, all the roads, all the electricity companies, the internet companies, they even own police stations. Basically, the entire Laos is Chinese. Uh, the same counts for Cambodia. Uh, a little bit less than Laos, but yeah, basically Cambodia is also already a de facto Chinese province. They want the same for Vietnam, and they want the same for Myanmar. Vietnam is almost there, but now Myanmar. And how better to take over Myanmar if the country is completely destroyed and needs everything. So that is one of the reasons why China is supporting both parties. It's a very difficult situation because those rebel groups that are fighting for their own independent areas, they will never get it. Uh, the power of China is too big. Uh, and between all those communist countries where China is planting their power and their influence. Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Vietnam, that are all doomed to become Chinese provinces. In the middle of that is Thailand. And what the future of Thailand will be, well, we have to see about that. But I can foresee a very difficult future. Thailand is traditionally, historically, a neutral country. They don't support anybody, not left, not right, not the West, not China, not the military government of Myanmar, not the rebels. Uh, they are neutral. But if this goes on for a little bit more, then Thailand can no longer stay neutral. They have to choose a side, especially with the huge influence of China all around Thailand. The pressure will be very high to choose the side of China. China will demand that Thailand chooses the side of China. So the Thai government basically has to act quite rapidly to turn the tide. And one of the things they do is to have military operations in Myanmar because they also don't want uh, China to be basically installed into Myanmar. They don't do military operations against the government, not against the rebel groups, but they do, let's say, for example, they have those camps in Myanmar where they house scam centers. Those are extremely big compounds. Altogether, I think there are about 12 to 14 of those compounds, more like scam cities, that house more than 400,000 scammers. And those scammers are uh, not not there by choice. No, they are forced laborers. They are basically modern slaves. They are trafficked into those areas with fake job opportunity uh, promises or otherwise, and then they are being forced to work there. And there are people there from all over the world. Uh, Thais, Malaysians, Chinese, Laotians, Cambodians, Vietnamese, but even Western people and even Latin American people uh, are there. They are from everywhere uh, across the world. So those scam centers They are basically operating in areas where there is no uh, there is no government presence, and they get protection from rebel groups. But it's very bad for Thailand, number one, because Thailand people are losing a lot of money because of those scam centers and the activities going on there. But also because it is very unstable for Thailand's border regions. So Thailand is conducting a lot of military operations, uh, trying to dissolve a lot of those encampments. And they probably do that with permission of the Burmese government. So Thailand is in that way not only trying to disable those scam cities, but they also want to have their military presence there. So once they are successful in taking over one of those compounds, they will install their military presence there. Um, and of course, under the cover of security and protecting the world and protecting the region, protecting people. But at the end, they also do that because they want to create a buffer zone against China. Because one thing is for sure, China will take over Myanmar. Um, there's no doubt about it. Um, when you look at Laos, when you look at Cambodia, look at Vietnam, this will happen for sure. So Thailand has to work a little bit between the lines, not really on an official basis, but they have to do something to counter this, to secure their own border regions, to secure their own country. And one of the things that they do is trying to take over um, certain areas along the border with Thailand and make those a buffer zone and possibly a zone where special economic zone, for example, where Thai businesses will eventually move in and secure this area for long-term use. So yeah, that's a little bit about the war in the civil war in Myanmar, which is not very soon going to end, unless of course the situation is like this, that China is finally ready to move in and claim it as their de facto province. And they will never say that officially, like with Laos and like with Cambodia. But like Laos, the fact that they own police stations and they own positions in the government and they own the entire electrical grid and they own almost all the gas stations and things like that, all the internet companies and all the, yeah, basically Laos is China. And when that is going to be the case for Myanmar, of course, we don't know that. But it won't take another 10 years, I can tell you that. It will be here faster than we would think. So, yeah, maybe you find this information interesting. I hope so. Please do the button clicking thing, like, subscribe. Maybe you can even share this story if you find it interesting. And yeah, thank you for watching.